Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Tosh Customs and today we will be reviewing my custom Mezco Deadshot. This was a commission piece for a long time and very consistent customer, and I'm very happy and proud to have been able to make this guy. This one was a long time coming, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. So with that, we'll dive right in. As we always do with these custom figure reviews, we're going to start with the accessories. And so obviously he has his trigger hands, and we're going to put him off to the side. We'll keep the head. And let's dive into what he comes with. So starting with the hands, he has two grasping hands. These were based off the Deadpool figure, and and I darkened these hands, and I'll explain how I did that later. But yeah, so he's got two grasping hands there. Put those off to the side. He has one open palmed gripping hand. These hands were just the hands I used that were sent to me. I know that he has another open palm. No, I think he only has one. I'd have to double check on that. But I think he only has one open palmed hand that Deadpool comes with. But once again, we darkened these hands for the figure. He's got one of those. He's got two fisted hands right here. And obviously has the two trigger hands that we took a look at earlier. Moving on to his guns, we have two pistols right here. The magazines are removable. I removed and sanded down the Deadpool imprints and gave it a light paint job just to kind of even out some of the paint quality tones. Nothing crazy. The magazines are removable, but if you guys are familiar with Mezcos, you've seen it all. I'm not going to waste your guys' time. So there we go. We got his two pistols. Coming to his sniper rifle, nothing terribly new. We have gloss on the inside of that scope. I sprayed it a matte black and just kind of left it that way because my logic behind it is Deadshot is a very clean professional sniper. His guns shouldn't have too much oh, I forgot to put AR into the mix there. Put that there. Just realized. You know, very professional, very clean looking guns, I would expect. Obviously the magazine removes, and the bipod did not come with the parts I was sent from the customer. So that's what we got. We have Deadpool's AR. Did not come with the mag. Customer didn't send me that. So this is what we got. Standard Mezco, once again, sprayed in black and not really detailed beyond that. Once again, for the very clean, almost factory new look. Deadshot seems like a guy who would have new guns, so we stuck with it. Obviously, that slides open for the grenade. Gloss in the scopes. Nothing crazy there. We can go buy it. If you've seen enough of my reviews, you're very familiar with those guns. We come to this gun. I'm not really a friend, but I'm a very consistent customer of this one guy, I assume, who casts guns on eBay and sells them in packs. His username is Liselome. It's Liselome, I believe. Liselome, something like that. Makes great casts. Some of his stuff some of it you have to do a little bit of cleanup. There's some little frame pieces of plastic, but I mean the detail in this is great. The detail is not lost in the fact that it's a cast. All of it's still there. You would believe that this was that this came out of the factory had I not said it was a cast, which is awesome. I did red in the scope of this one, and the reason I did that is because it's a suppressed AR. Come on, that seems very Deadshot. That seems something he would have a red scope. And the reason why I red scoped this one is because I wanted to follow the motif of this gun, which we'll get into in a sec. But yeah, that's what we got here. He's got his vertical grip. I sprayed this black as well. From the cast, it was a little bit more glossy. Sprayed it down with the matte black, just made it more realistic, kind of tamped it down like the rest of the other guns. And we come to this one, and I kept it silver, and I also dirtied it up a little bit. I know I've been saying I wanted to keep him looking fresh, clean guns, but I did some black detailing in some areas of it, as you can see. And then I also weathered it with some black gray. And the reason I did that was because, first of all, the silver looked cheap. And second of all, this feels like Deadshot's signature gun. He's got all his red scopes on there. He's got his extra laser for no reason. And so I painted the wire, and then I just dry brush detail into it. I figure if it's a signature gun, it's been through a lot, and so this one might look worn more than any of the others. And so I wanted to give it more of a realism and some aging to it. So that's what we did with this gun. Putting that off to the side, we're going to come to the heads. He has two interchangeable heads. We have this one, which is from the New 52 Deadshot figure. I don't know what the line is called. It's DC something. It's one, he has big silver shoulder pads. If you guys are looking for it, just look up Deadshot action figure. I'm sure you guys can find it. We kept the decaling with the crosshairs the same as what came with it, but everything else got repainted. So all the silver was much more flat. We turned it to a chrome silver. And then, once again, this whole head was silver besides those. And so I did gunmetal under the grooves of the like little mouth vents just to add some detailing, but it's not too dark. And then it's actually black on the, on these larger areas of the vents, and the black stripe runs all the way down and off the sides of the head. So I wanted him to feel like he had armor as well as sort of an undersuit, I guess you could say, or like an under cap to his helmet. And so I think that turned out really well. It also just helps bring out the details of the silver. When everything's silver, you don't really get to appreciate the shadowing of the sculpt. So adding that extra paint detailing and giving it that extra leveling makes it really pop. And then finally, we have his second interchangeable head, which we painted a skull in, and I'm very proud of how all this paint detail turned out. This is from the Arkham Origins Deadshot figure. I believe it's a 7-inch figure. We dremeled out the whole inside to make a new head neck peg, and this one is also a custom neck peg, by the way. We pretty much redid all the paint. I think his whole head was just black and gray, obviously besides the eye. We redid the red dot in there. I don't remember what it was before, honestly. We brightened up the silver to be the same chrome silver that's on his other head. This was a gray padding before. I got really lucky with how I mixed my paint. It took several tries, but we finally got the right combo to make it feel like a soft, woolly-esque cushion, some foam padding on his side with the eye. And then he's obviously got his earphone type thing that runs all the way around. And so we just got some good detailing. I tried to make some differentiation between the matte color of the mask and sort of the gloss of maybe the gloss and metal of some of the hard parts of his mask. And so just working with that to bring out the most in the sculpt. And then obviously we painted the skull, something that just feels a little bit more Spec Ops military-esque maybe. And obviously it's done in dry brushing, so we get some nice shadowing in the wrinkles of the mask. So we will plop on this head. I like this head. We'll peg it on for the remainder of this review. So coming to the body, how in the world did we do it? This is a Mezco Netflix Daredevil figure as a base. I had to do a lot of undersuit work, and we put a hoodie. We first of all put a red hoodie, and this hoodie is just bent around the collar of the jacket, and that's just so the hoodie kind of stays back a little bit more, and it looks like it's nice and tucked up. And then obviously you have a black trench coat. I cuffed the sleeves, which I did by cutting and adding some elastic just to create the folds of the sleeves there. And then the upper part of the suit was dyed. So this red, the inside maroon, and the suit itself were all dyed in a charcoal gray, and then the pants were dyed black. And so as you can see, there's a tone difference between the upper part of the suit and the lower part, and that's because I dyed them two separate colors. We added armor paneling, obviously. We added a ton of pouches. He's got more pouches. He's got his belt buckle, and he's got his pistol holsters. So we went through a lot of work with that. These are pulled from several different figures. We have a Mezco Deadpool. We have a Mezco Deathstroke. We have, I think it's SF Figure Arts Deadshot in there. And obviously these panels aren't in the same direction. We did a lot of modding to these panels, but we got new panels on there, and obviously things have been repainted and such and such. Coming down to the legs, the knee pads have been done in a gunmetal, and we did just some silver detailing on the boots just to bring out some of the detail there. The suit, figuring out this whole undersuit layering was difficult. And the reason why we went with this look, we wanted to go for a very, very realistic, tactical version of Deadshot. Did I say Deathstroke earlier? Maybe I did. Deadshot. We didn't want him to feel too fantastical, in that we didn't want him to feel too close out of the comics in a way that he wouldn't fit in the real world, and at the same time we still wanted to keep his aesthetic. So we decided to go sort of military-esque vibes. So anyways, coming down the arms now, we have his gun gauntlets, as I call them. And the nice part is, since we based them off the Netflix Daredevil brace, but then we also pulled in custom casted SMG, and we cut off some part of the barrel. Then we also used pistols from Marvel Legends and cut off the handle. And so we fused all of that to the Netflix brace, as well as a Deadpool brace, which we had to do a lot of shaving off and cleaning up to get this right. A couple months ago, I did a live stream, maybe not months, maybe a month and a half ago, I did a live stream. And so you guys got to see some of the creation of these, which is cool. So this is it finally come to fruition. And so you can take those on and off. And even with the hand on, they still do rotate around the hand, which definitely helps with posing, which is cool. So yeah, we got those on either side. And once again, we wanted to go with still keeping to the character, but not feeling so far off realism that it seems, weird or surprising in any way. I think really the last point I want to hit with this guy is the hands. We also dyed the hands. I don't know why I said we. I dyed the hands. I say we as if I'm referring to myself and the customer, maybe. I would say we. He was very, very a part of the designing of this figure, and I appreciate someone who comes with a vision. It's so much easier to, create something good when we know the direction we're heading. This is a original Mezco Deadpool hand. Very, very bright red. I was taking some pictures earlier, and it was really, really hard to tell the difference. So in doing a side-by-side in a video, you can really see how much dyeing brings the tones of the plastic down. Really, really, focus, don't look at Deadshot in the background. Yeah, so these are the dyed hands now versus this Cowabunga hand. So much brighter, so much darker. And so that just helps match the maroon of these hands to the maroon that's on the suit. And so there's a much more, kind of matches the hoodie, some of the undersuit. So it just brings the whole figure together in terms of color scheme. And so we were still able to keep the Deadshot red. Obviously we darkened it. We're able to keep the maroon. We changed it to maroon, but we're still able to keep a lot of his silver aesthetics and his armored gunner sniper look. And so I'm really happy with how he turned out. I was going to bring my Joker and Batman figure over for a size comparison. Obviously I'm recording now, so I can't do that. But I do have the G.I. Joe classified Snake Eyes, and Snake Eyes stands a little bit, if I put them side by side, stands a little bit shorter. Not by much, but a tad shorter, the Deadshot. So even on the this is on the smaller end of Mezco, but even on the smaller end of Mezco, they still do stand taller than Marvel Legends. So that's, here's a classic Marvel Legends. They stand about the same size. No, he still stands shorter. So yeah, Mezco still stands taller overall. So that's what we got. I'm very, very pleased with this figure. When we first started designing it, he said, I want to go tactical. I want to do a tactical Deadshot. And I was super excited because even the Suicide Squad movie still felt still kind of cartoony. And so we wanted to bring it back to something that felt almost a little bit plain clothes. He's got a hoodie, he's got his trench coat, but obviously he's still got this much more high-tech aspect to him as well. So I think we really accomplished the look and the design of him quite well. I'm really, really happy with how he turned out. I just realized weapon storage wise, the only weapon storage he has is for his 2 pistols. Obviously they just go into his thigh holsters, on either side of the figure. I dropped the other pistol in my hand, so I'll just take that one and we'll just kerplunk it in there. So yeah, so we can hold those there. He's got his gun gauntlets. And that's the figure. I realize he has a little bit of a hard time putting his hands to his side. If you're familiar with Mezcos, Mezcos already can't put their hands to the side, and so when you throw a trench coat over that, it just kind of doubles the effect. But even still, he's a great figure. He still keeps the rest of his mobility. You still get those nice double jointed arm bend in there and stuff. So he's I'm happy. I really, really like how he looks. I think he's that perfect meld of what we were going for. So anyways, thank you all for watching. That is pretty much the conclusion of my little overview of my custom Mezco Deadshot. If you haven't already, please like the video, please subscribe if you enjoyed this video or if you found some inspiration from it. I'm not big enough to earn any money or revenue off of this, so I really just do this for the pleasure of it. So any, moral support, I guess, is always appreciated. I do, however, have a Ko-fi link, which is Ko-fi, and that's really just a place where you, it's practically like giving someone a tip. So, if you want to do that, if you kind of want to support in a smaller way, you're not buying customs, but if you just want to say, hey, good job, I thought that was cool. Check that out. I think I have a link on my YouTube channel. If not, I'll add one, but I definitely have one on my Instagram page. And if you want to see all the work in progress for this figure and any of the other ones on my channel, follow me at Tosh Customs, which is Tosh_Customs on Instagram. And they're the most, I update everything the most there. So if you want to see and hear more from me, that's where you want to be. So thank you once again for watching this review, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care.